are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. Welcome everyone to this edition of The Back Room. We are so pleased that you have found us here tonight. I'm your host for the evening, Hank Philippi Ryan, the USA Today bestselling author of 13 novels of suspense, including Her Perfect Life, which is so casually displayed behind me, and my new novel coming up in February called The House Guest, which is sort of Gaslight meets Thelma and Louise. You'll get to talk to each of our four fabulous authors, and let me introduce them to you right now, and I will do it in alphabetical order. The first author tonight is the amazing Laurie R. King. Welcome, Laurie. So nice to see you. She is the New York Times bestselling author of 30 novels and other works, including the Mary Russell Sherlock Holmes stories. And one of those, The Beekeeper's Apprentice, was chosen as one of the 20th century's best crime novels by IMBA. She has won, and listen to this, she has won the Agatha, Anthony, Edgar, Lambda, Wolfe, McCavity, Creasy Dagger, and the Romantic Times Career Achievement Awards. That's everything, a couple times. She has an honorary doctorate in theology and is a Baker Street irregular. In 2022, she was named the Mystery Writers of America Grand Master. She co-edited with Lee Child the new handbook from Mystery Writers of America, How to Write a Mystery, which just won every single mystery award this year. So if you all haven't picked up a copy of How to Write a Mystery, everybody else has, because it is completely great. It is completely great. I have a piece in it too. So again, don't miss it. Her new book is the first in a new contemporary series. Hold that up, Laurie, if you have it with you. It's called Back to the Garden with SFPD Inspector Raquel Lang. It is so good. You all do not miss this. Welcome to Laurie King tonight.
It's purple.
It's what? It's purple. It's purple. Meant to be purple. Meant to be purple. Very gardeny. Very gardeny. Our next author is the fabulous Tara Moss. Tara Moss is a best-selling author, documentary host, and award-winning human rights and disability advocate. She has written 14 books, published in 19 countries and more than a dozen languages. Her latest novel is The Ghosts of Paris, set in 1947, featuring fast-talking, fast-driving, champagne-swilling Nazi hunter investigator female PI Billy Walker. Cannot do better than that. Moss is a UNICEF ambassador, and in 2017, she was recognized as one of the global top 50 diversity figures in public life for making a positive impact in diversity alongside Angelina Jolie and the Dalai Lama and Tara. In 2021, she was chosen as a global change maker by Conscious Being magazine for her disability and chronic pain activism, and was a recipient of the Honorary Citizen Award from the City of Victoria for her work on accessibility rights. And she comes to us from Vancouver in blue velvet this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tara.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you, Hank. You're so generous.
Congratulations on all of that and all of your hard work. Priscilla Oliveras, welcome, is a USA Today bestselling author who writes contemporary romance with a Latinx flavor. She and her novels have earned starred reviews and praise from, listen to this, The Washington Post, New York Times, Entertainment Weekly, the Oprah Magazine, Booklist, Kirkus Reviews, and Publishers Weekly. So that is like a grand slam. She has earned her Master in Fine Arts in Writing Popular Fiction from Seton Hill University, and now serves as adjunct faculty in the program and teaches the online course Romance Writing for Ed2Go. A devotee of the romance genre, she's also a sports fan, beach lover, and Zumba aficionado. So you have a lot to ask her about in the back rooms, you all. Her latest release is West Side Love Story, a Romeo and Juliet reimagining set in San Antonio, Texas. And that is fantastic. Welcome, Priscilla.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to chat with everyone.
Yeah, we are too. We are too. And Jessica Strawser, my darling friend, is the author of the book club favorites Almost Missed You, Not That I Could Tell, a Book of the Month Club selection, something to which we all aspire, Forget You Know Me, and A Million Reasons Why. She is the editor-at-large for Writer's Digest, and her work has appeared in the New York Times Modern Love, Publishers Weekly, and as she says, other fine venues. And if I listed them all, we would be here way, way, way too long. She lives with her husband and 2 children who she's keeping out of the room so carefully, but we invited them in. So if they come in, it'll be fine, in Cincinnati. Her newest release and another massive book club favorite is Not That I Can Tell. The Next Thing You Know. Sorry, The Next Thing You Know. Thank you for holding that up. And we will be talking about that tonight. It is very thought-provoking and very emotional. And I cannot wait to talk with you about that, Jess. Welcome. So we'll start with how you are on the screen to me, and that is Jessica Strawser is first. Jessica, what was your favorite book as a child?
Oh, Hank, you know I'm so bad at any question that's like one favorite.
Okay, tell us 27 good books that you loved.
Yes, exactly. If I were to list a few, I remember The Velveteen Rabbit really sticking with me. Like the idea of loving a stuffed animal until it became real. My mom always called our stuffed animals real once we had worn like all the fur off of them. Really remember loving Where the Red Fern Grows. It was the first book that ever made me cry.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at those 2.
Okay, leave it at that. A very emotional. Did you all have stuffed animals when you were growing up? I had. Yeah.
I had stuffed animals, and I was just thinking it's probably, you just seem so much more wholesome than me as a child, Jessica, because my favorite was the Edward Gorey story called Gashly Crumb Tinies. A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs. B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. C is for Clara, who wasted away. D is for Desmond, thrown under a sleigh. I'll leave
this
it
is how
there,
you turned out the way you did.
Wow.
a little bit of a different vibe.
We would get along great in real life though, Tara. All my closest friends and my husband, it's always like an opposites attract kind of thing. So we'd have a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Here, let me give you a question then, Tara. You're next on the screen. And your question is, are you superstitious?
Oh, I didn't think I was, but increasingly, I guess coming from that Edward Gorey background, I guess as I get older, I'm starting to pay more attention. If I walk through the cemetery and there's a skeletal figure holding an umbrella over a group of children, like in the Edward Gorey stuff, I'm definitely going to go the other way. No, I don't know. I don't think I'm superstitious.
That's just wise.
I think that's just wise. I'm gonna just call it wisdom. I've got my own version of wisdom.
Self-care. That's self-care.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
But we still did. So you're not superstitious, or you are? Like, would you put a hat on the bed or shoes on the table, or?
I guess I'm not superstitious, but I do have like my way of approaching things, and I would, if something works well, you'll do it the same way. So I'll have like my favorite. I've got like my little 1940s things around me when I write set in the 1940s. So I have like funny little, my writer's mug, things like that. They're not necessarily superstitions, but they're little good luck
things you can't do without when they bring you good luck, and if you didn't have them, they wouldn't. So, but that's not superstitious.
Okay. I'll let you judge whether that's superstitious or not. I have funny little quirks.
I'm always astonished at the sorts of things that are considered superstitious, because I mean, like the 2 that you used, Hank, is that I mean, I don't put shoes on the table because they're usually dirty and I don't want to clean the table. But a hat on the bed, I've heard of that, but I was not raised to think of a hat on the bed as something that's bad. I don't.
But now you know.
I have a hat on the bed right there, and I feel like I need to change that immediately.
On the other hand, I don't wear hats.
Anyway, let's just go on so we can get to everyone. But although this is pretty interesting, we'll have a whole event about this. Priscilla, what is your favorite place to write?
Oh, my favorite place to write. I mean, if I could be anywhere at the beach or someplace that is overlooking like the open ocean, even Lake Michigan will do, although I know it's not really the beach, but I can convince myself that, that it is. But anything overlooking the open ocean, if I have my druthers. Now, I live 2 hours away from the beach, so that doesn't happen every day. So at home, my writing space is, we have an enclosed, we call it a lanai, maybe like a Florida room, so I can still get the AC from the house. But it's all windows. So I feel like I'm outside, even on a day where I'm inside working on deadline and I want to be outside playing, I can like play with my characters here and still feel like I'm outside.
That's great. Susan Anderson says Lake Michigan is the beach. So there you have it.
It does not. Let me tell you, to this Florida, Puerto Rican, like Caribbean water girl. Every time I've tried to go into Lake Michigan, my toes get in, and that's about as far as I can go.
That's great. That's great. Laurie, I know these are random questions, and I'm not quite sure how this is kind of amazing that you got this. But your question is, what is the first time you remember reading a Sherlock Holmes short story?
I'm sure that I read some in high school. You always read The Speckled Band and Hound of the Baskervilles, but the first time I remember specifically reading going out to deliberately read them was a couple of days after I started writing the Mary Russell Sherlock Holmes books. And I thought, maybe I should know what I'm writing about.
I would never have predicted that that's how it would happen. So you're not only lured into buying their own books, but lured into buying the new books that they are reading as well. And let's start with Laurie King. What book are you recommending?
It's your name. I love Katrina McPherson's writing. She writes comedy and she writes suspense. And this one is lovely because it's both. It's set in Edinburgh, so it's got this kind of exotic, you learn things about Edinburgh that nobody from the outside knows. It's semi-historical, set in 1948. It's the beginning of the National Health Service in England, so it has these issues that you might not think about because, here's these people in the poorer sections of Edinburgh who have no health care until the woman who is the main character in here brings it to the fore. And it's just one of those books that I found just a really perfect read.
Priscilla, what are you recommending?
Yes, I am recommending Big Chicas Don't Cry by Annette Chavez Macias. She also writes romance as Sabrina Soule, but this is Annette's first romantic women's fiction. So it's a recent release. You meet four cousins, four primas. You meet them in the beginning, like it's probably summer of their 15, I think they're like 15, and then you flash forward to the present day and you spend like a year with them and you get all four of their point of views. They're all four very different. They've experienced, they're like things have happened, during that time jump. What I loved is that they're all very different, but I found that I could identify with something about each of them. There was also something that I admired about each of them. They're all strong women, but strong in different ways. So I loved that. It's like being wrapped in a hug, a familia hug.
Tara,
I don't have the copy of this wonderful book, The Library of Legends by Janie Chang, because we just moved house and I could not find it in the boxes of books. Like most authors, I have far too many boxes of wonderful books I can't part with. But this is just a wonderful piece of historical fiction and great storytelling. It's based on the real true experiences of a group of Chinese students. So it's China 1937. The attacks from Japan are starting to change the landscape there, and they're trying to save a bunch of very important historical books, the library literally of legends, and it's based on true experiences. And Janie just has a wonderful way of looking at history and bringing out the characters, like making you just fascinated by these experiences. And I just love it.
It looks very beautiful. She is quite amazing. What a lovely writer she is. So that's great. Thank you for that. Jessica Strawser, what are you recommending?
Mad Honey, which is not quite out yet, which is why I don't have it. It's the new Jodi Picoult, and this one has a co-author, Jennifer Finney Boylan. And what's amazing about this book is that you don't really know what it's about until you're about halfway through, because this is one of those, as Jodi Picoult often does, books with a massive twist that actually happens pretty early on, like a little before the halfway mark, around the halfway mark. And when you hit that, you realize this is not the story I thought it was. This is a completely different story. So really made me think and taught me a lot about life experiences that are not at all like my own, which is what my favorite kind of books do.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.